This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of Monday, October 30th, 2023. I'm Alex Brown. The president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway says officials are looking toward the future after a recent study found that IMS generated more than $1 billion in economic impact for the state over a one-year period. And while IMS officials were pleased with the results of the study, Doug Bowles said they are close to getting back to plans for growth that had been stalled by the COVID-19 pandemic.
When COVID happened, he said, let's step back. Let's make sure that the core of our business is healthy. That's the Indianapolis 500. That's the Brickyard Weekend. That's all the other things that go on. Once we get ourselves back to that, then we can start having those conversations again. So we're just on the verge of getting back to that point where we can really start having those conversations with the city and with the town. What can we do to really help generate more jobs, generate more tourism here in the state of Indiana?
The study conducted by the IU Public Policy Institute showed the $1 billion figure was approximately double that from a similar study conducted a decade ago. The owners of Illinois-based Moore Brewing Company will join officials from the city of Fort Wayne today to break ground on their new restaurant and brewery at the city's North River site. The $6 million project will be the first to be built at the site of a former OmniSource metal recycling plant just north of the city's riverfront space. Warwick Trails on Friday marked the grand opening of a new 5-mile trail in Newburgh. Executive Director Courtney Tenbarge said the Old National Bank Loop was designed to seamlessly connect numerous assets throughout the area. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Whether it's a new hire or a noteworthy promotion, IIB's Bigwigs and New Gigs serves as a platform to promote your team. Our revamped offering includes being featured on both the newly redesigned newsletter and at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. Subscribers to the Business News subscription save $10 off every listing. Plus, you can save $100 by bundling your submission to IIB with the Indianapolis Business Journal or the Indiana Lawyer. More at InsideIndianaBusiness.com.
A federal judge in Indianapolis has dismissed an attempt by the Satanic Temple to block Indiana's near-total abortion ban. IIB's Kate Sharon has more.
The Satanic Temple, a non-theistic religious organization based in Salem, Massachusetts, filed a federal lawsuit last year claiming that the new abortion ban violates Indiana's Religious Freedom Restoration Act. In a ruling issued Wednesday, Judge Jane Magnus Stinson said the Satanic Temple, quote, failed to demonstrate that its alleged costs of compliance or threat of prosecution amounts to injury. The Satanic Temple's lawsuit specifically sought to allow mail-order abortion drugs for its members in Indiana to have abortions. The temple operates a telehealth clinic based in New Mexico. The plaintiffs said in their original complaint that Indiana's ban makes the exercise of satanic abortion ritual a crime, and that Indiana's restrictions violates the rights of Hoosier Satanists who could become pregnant if their birth control fails. But the temple refused to name any of its members or leadership in the lawsuit, citing the need to protect itself from exposure to violence. Magnus Stinson said without being able to show whether any of its members are actually being harmed by the ban, the temple doesn't have the grounds to bring the lawsuit. A separate challenge to Indiana's abortion law, filed by the American Civil Liberties Union of Indiana, is still pending, however. That lawsuit also uses the state's RFRA law to argue that the abortion ban infringes on the religious beliefs of the plaintiffs of multiple faiths. Kate Sharon, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
A city board this week will consider the creation of a new downtown taxing district to support a planned stadium for the Indy 11 soccer team, part of the larger $1 billion mixed-use development known as 11 Park. The tax district, known as a professional sports development area, would allow for the collection of various taxes to cover a portion of the cost for the 20,000-seat stadium. A key component of Indy 11 and Keystone Group owner Ursal Ozdemir's expansive redevelopment of the Diamond Chain Manufacturing Company property in downtown Indianapolis. The city's Metropolitan Development Commission will consider the plan on Wednesday, with approval sending the proposal to the City-County Council. However, it would likely be only the first of several government-related hurdles related to the project in the coming months. National FFA President Molly Ball is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.